Okay, hello everyone. I am one of the advisors in the psych department advising team, and today we are going over the psych requirements of the TDA. Before we get started, I suggest looking at our TDA video if you're not sure how to run a TDA. That way you know all the steps, that way you can follow along before we get started in our video. So first thing I want to cover is on the left-hand side, that is what our psych requirements looks like when you run a TDA. And on the right-hand side, I provided a link and a QR code to go to that link. It's basically the psychology roadmap. You'll see it on there. There's different majors on there as well. For the psychology one, it has a roadmap basically showing you what classes students take each semester. It's important to keep in mind that this is more of a guideline because we know that students maybe have a time conflict in their schedule or maybe classes get filled up, so you can't follow it exactly to the T. That's okay. It's just to give you a general idea of what classes go in what order. So our first section in our psychology requirements is the category 1. So those are our lower division courses, including Psych 101, Psych 201, and Psych 202. One thing to keep in mind with these 3 courses is that they cannot be taken in the same semester. So I cannot take Psych 101 and 201 in the same semester. I can't take 201 and 202 together. Have to be done in separate semesters. And this also applies, let's say if you have like an AP credit score for your Psych 101, or maybe you took the class in community college, then great. It should be showing there, showing as done and completed, but you still cannot take like the 201 and 202 together. So just make sure you keep that in mind. So our category 2 is our experimental courses and our experimental lab. So this only requires you to take 2 courses and only 1 lab. So you take, for example, 302 in one semester, and then let's say you do 305 the semester after that, or maybe a couple semesters after that, depending on your schedule. So because you took 302, you are now eligible to take 302 lab because it's done, completed, you have the requirement done, so you can take that lab course. Or let's say in that semester you're taking 305, you decide to enroll in 305 in that same semester, that's totally fine. What you cannot do is take, let's say, 306 lab because you haven't taken 306 already, and you're not taking 306 in that same semester, you're trying to do 306 lab. In our categories 3 and 4, the only prerequisite is Psych 101. So as long as you have that completed, or let's say you're in the class right now and you're enrolling in your classes for like the next semester, long as you pass that Psych 101 with a C or better, you are free to start working on these courses. So from category 3, out of the 4 options you have, you only need to take 2. In category 4, out of the 4 options there, you are only required to take 1 course. Moving on to our category 5, we have Psych 300 and Psych 495. Psych 300 is our intermediate research methods and statistics course. And it's important to remember that category 1 needs to be done in order for you to be in Psych 300. Or actually, like, it should be either if you have like 202, like you're almost done finishing it up and you're enrolling in classes for Psych 300 in like the semester after, make sure you have 202 completed with at least a C or better. So in order to stay in 300, you need to have 101, 201, 202 done and completed. Again, you can't have one of those courses like in the same semester as Psych 300 since they are prerequisites. Now with this course, what me and the other advisors have seen after working with students is that this course can be pretty content heavy for some students just because of the content and just because of the extra hours of studying, the homework. You also have classwork and studying for tests. So we suggest in the semester you're doing this course, you choose classes that are going to be a good balance for you. That way you can maybe work on some GEs or maybe some extra elective courses, maybe one other psychology course, that you're not feeling too overwhelmed in that semester. And with our 495 class, this is our internship course. So typically students get this done in their senior or their 4th year. So this is a really great class because it provides you an opportunity to gain like hands-on experience of the field of psychology by taking everything you learned so far in your bachelor's degree, and you're applying it like in a field that you get like one-on-one experience with. So with this class, it's important to remember that you're going to be taking it later on and that you want to find your site at least a couple months beforehand before you go into before you start the semester. And we have more information about this on our website where it's either in our advising tab or in our academics tab. So let's move forward to our category 6. So our last section, and this is our psychology upper division elective courses. So our students are required to take a grand total of 3. From here you can choose like electives either by looking at like the student handbook on our website or by looking at the class search. And there are tons you can choose from. So you can choose classes basically from the other categories in our TDA. So for example, like how I talked about in categories 2, 3, and 4, let's say you do classes from there that you haven't done so far. Now it's important to keep in mind you can't like double count those courses. So let me give you an example. Let's say in category 2, you enroll in 302, 305, and 305 lab, or you're working on them. Now that 302 course is going to stay in category 2 because it's not going to count as an elective course. But let's say you enroll in 306. So because you have like the 3 requirements in that category like almost done, that 306 is going to drop down into category 6 down here, and that will count as one of your electives. Same with, let's say in like category 4, you do 311 and 317. 311 will most likely stay in that requirement section, and 317 will drop down to category 6. One thing to keep in mind also is for our electives is you have to take at least one 400 level course, but you're more than welcome to take more than one. So I've seen students do all 3 of their spots. They've done 400 levels for each course, like 474, 408. Let me see what else, like 456. I've seen that too. More often than not, our students do 2 300s of their choosing, and then they do 1 400. That's basically the requirement you need, but you can do like 2 400s and 1 300. That's totally fine as well. And lastly, thing to keep in mind with this is that you can enroll in 499, which is our research like assistance. If you're working in a lab for a professor, make sure you enroll in 3 units to have this count as an elective. 494 and 495 are not used for this section. So pretty much all the different 400s are good to go. Those 2 classes do not fall under this category. So overall, that was our psychology walkthrough for the TDA. As always, if you have any questions about that, about the classes or the requirements in general, we have our link right here. I also provided a QR code. That way you can make an appointment with us or come to our walk-ins in case you have any questions or concerns about anything I covered today.